How do you transform the sexual energy into OJAS? Fortunately, you don't need to worry about it. It will transform itself via the natural laws of evolution and you can say, high-level cosmic programmers that made this whole thing to begin with. Had to get a little spiritual there because that's just what it is. Now, the mind, see, the mind wants to get things without like working for it. And the society we live in knows that. And so then that's why it merchandises everything. Here, take this class, man. It's $500. It's worth it though. I'm going to show you the secret, sacred sexual techniques of how you can convert your OJAS, your sexual energy into OJAS. And then, if you get a girlfriend, you're going to be able to give her multiple orgasms. She's going to love you like, you see? I'm going to show you how to get the glow. Here, this is what you do. Like, you gotta, well, give me the money first. I mean, I can't tell you before you give me the money. And then I'm gonna show you how to get the glow. And then when you go outside, like, everybody's just gonna see you glowing. You're gonna have more attention than a movie star. See, they know how to appeal to the mind that wants to do this stuff. You gotta check your motives. First thing, nobody can teach you how to get the glow. How's somebody gonna teach you how to get the glow? Glow's organic. Glow happens automatically when you're tuned to, you can say, natural health laws, which include preserving your sexual energy. So, I forgot. Anyway, the yogis say OJAS is stored in your brain. I believe them. I think that's why it's so beneficial for the central nervous system, because the central nervous system's in your brain. I also feel once this collective tray of OJAS gets full, I feel like then the body like starts sending that energy to other parts that like need it. See, the OJAS runs the whole body. Do I gotta say again the process? Ayurveda says it takes 40 drops of blood to make 1 drop of OJAS. The process is the body makes the plasma, then the blood, then the muscles, then the bones, then the bone marrow, then the nerves. See how subtle, how deep we're getting? After the nervous system, nothing's more subtle than that. Oh yeah, there is, OJAS. So I feel like the brain needs to have a sufficient storehouse of OJAS to keep everything else running. Then once it's sufficiently full, it'll start sending extra energy to help repair those weakened areas in your body. And once it's sufficiently full, it will start, you can say, awakening certain secretions or areas in your glands, pineal gland, hypothalamus gland, all these glands that nobody knows anything about. Only the yogis know about this stuff. How? Through actual experience. What does that mean? It means when your mind's super quiet and you're doing semen retention long enough, you start getting realizations and downloads. They just come. You just start to, like, can't explain it. You start to have these insights. And so then they transcribe it and, you know. So I said at the beginning, you don't have to do anything special. How are you going to figure this out? How is the class or anybody going to like tell you how to do that? This happens automatically, fortunately. Isn't that a good deal? We don't have to figure it out. It just happens. But you need to check your motives why you want to do it. I'm talking from my previous self experience when I was reading Swami Shivananda's book, The Practice of Brahmachari. I don't know, I was 26 or something. I was in India. That's the thing. You see, the gurus and yogis, they manipulate a little bit because they're trying to appeal to the young person's mind. So they write all this, they exaggerate. Oh, you're going to just be golden and you're going to like, it's going to help you, everything. If you're missing a hand, it might grow it back. Your eyesight's going to be, I can see across like the ocean. I see, Asia. Yeah, because they want to motivate the kid, the younger people. So it motivated me too, and that's how I learned about my motives. I wanted to preserve the OJAS to get these benefits because then I had a deep need for attention. I wanted to look really good and glow so I could get attention. And I wanted to get more female attraction. And I wanted to be strong. I can get more gains. If I got OJAS, get more gains even than this, right? So see, those motives are coming from ego. If ego's there, ego burns up some of the OJAS. Is how it works. A pure mind, pure heart, the OJAS doesn't get burnt up. It fills this, what I call collection tray in the brain, and starts to spill over. Then you start to get these powers and kind of not normal human traits, and your faculties start to open, your more subtle faculties, sixth sense stuff, your intuition gets super sharp. You can read people like without even trying. Okay. Here's a good example. It's like if you can have two people say the same thing. Let's make it better illustration. Some drunk guy in the street comes up to you and says, "Oh man, I love you a lot." He's trying to hug you. You're like, "No, I'm good, man." Then let's say somebody, an awakened being, let's say Jesus or Buddha or Krishna, he's coming towards you. Total different look. You'll probably just be like looking at him. And then if he goes to hug you, you're going to surrender to it. Why? Because the energy's so strong. It's so pure. Some people, they can't help. They just start prostrating to a guru. They can't help it. A lot of people, they're it can be manipulation. They're trying to show I'm so devoted. I'm not talking about them. There's some beings who it touches somebody else so deep you can't help it. You don't even know you're doing it. Those beings, they have a really strong devotional bhakti nature. So the OJAS is what gives this presence. You can't, like I said though, you can't be having these lustful, egoic thoughts, selfish thoughts, trying to do semen retention for your own selfish motives and expect to have this though. Like I said, that burns up some of the OJAS. So there's no loopholes. I've said before, it's like we get what we want when we stop wanting it. You can be the handsome, charismatic guy when you stop caring about it so much. Well, then what's the point of it? To help people. This is always the point. This is the main point. So this is a very deep evolutionary process that's happening. And so the channel is, I'm starting to shift a little bit for the more advanced people. So we're going to start talking on this level, because I feel like I made enough videos on like practical stuff, female attraction. I don't know if I can do another video on that, but I might, let's see, did we miss anything? Oh, yeah, this is funny. This is why vasectomies don't work. See, the mind comes up with these silly ideas. They're like, yeah, okay, I'll get a vasectomy, and then I can't release. I won't release, but I can still do PMO, I can still have sex all the time. Ah, good deal. Yeah, doc, can you snip my balls? Like, I'm a dopamine addict. That's the point. They could cut your penis off and throw it away or sell it. And still, remember that song, Detachable Penis? That was funny. He lost his penis, and then he spent days looking for it, and then found it at a flea market and bought it back, and he was happy again. So did I digress? Maybe a little. Vasectomy. It's the dopamine addiction that burns up the OJAS. I've touched on this on the last video I made about OJAS. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. So if that dopamine addiction's still alive, that's what burns the OJAS up. That's what I'm saying. Like, we got to become pure. Pure means, how do you become pure though? The way what I had to do was go do and taste everything I wanted to do and taste, even though I knew it wasn't pure. I didn't have any choice. The desires and the tendencies were so strong. Like, what was I going to do? I wanted to know, I was in my 20s. I wanted to know what is it like to have sex? Like, I mean, I had sex before, but I mean, like, I wanted to have it more. I wanted to check more, like, what's the effect that the girl gets when I give her oral sex, and am I doing a good job, and all that stuff. I had to, like, burn all that out. So I had to go do that. And then at some point I realized, you know what, I'm bored of this. Like, because everybody's dopamine addict. They're having sex because they're dopamine addicts. She wants to orgasm, the guy wants to orgasm, or the guy wants to build his ego, fuel his self-esteem because he thinks he's doing such a good job. And she knows that the guy really wants to feel like he's doing a good job. So then she plays into it. Oh, wow, you're doing such a good job. Oh, good, you know. So I don't know. I somehow saw through all that at some point. I'm like, I'm done. This is silly. Did I stop having sex? No. Did it reduce? A hell of a lot. So then I would only have sex in like true sacred situations where we're really exchanging energy and love with each other. That's it. I'll do that, or I won't do it. If I never have sex again, it's totally cool. Like, I'm done. I've done it. It's not that my equipment doesn't work. My equipment works too damn good. So it has nothing to do with that. I'm just not a dopamine junkie anymore. And I had to do all that stuff to get free. Sometimes we have to do poisonous stuff to get free. This is what Tantra says. The aesthetic path says, no, look down. Yeah, but I want to look up. Don't do it. I looked up. Okay, now fast. Don't eat anything for 24 hours. Punishment. That never worked for me. Tantra says, go do everything you want to do, but be conscious when you do it. That's real alchemy. Then things get transformed. A lot of people can't hear this. You got to have a special character to be doing, to do that type of sadhana or spiritual practice. Some of you do, though. I can tell by your comments. So getting a vasectomy is not a get out of jail free card. The get out of jail free card is when you're free of the dopamine addiction. Then all this energy, sexual energy that the body creates, is going to transform and convert into OJAS automatically. It's a good deal. What are some ways, though? What are some ways that we lose OJAS via sexual? How do we lose our sexual energy? Well, I've already said, any form of dopamine addiction at any level is going to burn up some OJAS. But when we're talking specifically in the sexual arena, you learn to really check yourself when well, obviously you stop the PMO, but things get more subtle. You check yourself when you have fantasies. You check yourself when you start edging, when you start wanting girls to look at you, when you start objectifying women. If you look at yourself in the mirror naked, when you look at certain pictures, videos, even with their clothes on, getting a little hit. All those little things, those are all ways to increase your supply of OJAS. But you can't do this overnight, right? So, see, some people hear this message and they start to feel guilty and bad. They're like, God, I can't do this. Yeah, I know you can't do it. You can't do it. Grace has to help you do it. How are you going to do it? Don't stop trying to use your mind to conquer something. It doesn't work. This isn't like you're training and you're training to be the MMA fight and you're training and you're learning these things. This isn't like this. This is an evolutionary thing. It would be like a teenager, who's trying to figure out how to be an adult. It's like, let's say he's 17. He's like, I need to know how to be 40. I got to start working on this because I want to be 40. Oh, there's a class. It's only 300. He says it's specifically for teenagers, and it shows them how to be an adult. All right. And then they go and they put you in some stretch machine to try to make you taller and, put some thing in your diaphragm, give your voice a little deeper. So you don't have to do that. Let life will take care of it. This whole process of life, it's organic. It runs itself. You just do the best you can do, and you be aware of when you're doing things that are so-called not pure, and you check yourself, not for guilt and shame, just because you enjoy checking yourself. Something inside wants to be more clean and pure. That's all. Like I've said before, the paradox is you try as hard as you can, but you relax at the same time. Give yourself space to make mistakes. There's a lot of vitamins in the mistakes you make. That's where you get the experience from, of tasting, doing things that really aren't aligned with your higher self, your higher nature. You taste how that feels. And then after you taste it enough, you may be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Then it's organic. You're not forcing yourself not to do it because you think, oh, I shouldn't do this, or a guru told me not to do it. No, you organically don't want to do it. That's real freedom. That's my definition of freedom. See you soon.